My friend won't let anyone in her house after 9:30, and I just found out why. They're the happiest couple that I've ever met. Like, if you didn't believe in love, this couple would make you believe in it. But one evening, it all came crashing down. I arrived at JC's house at 5 p.m. sharp. She is obsessed with time, always wondering why someone's a minute late or a minute early, as if she's a detective and you're in her interrogation room. But before I get into what happened, let me tell you a little bit about JC. She's got pitch black hair, a nose ring, wears dark clothing. She's the type of girl that has pumpkins sitting out in the beginning of September. And she's super welcoming. Actually, the rug on her front door reads, "Leave now." So tonight I was going by her house because me and her had planned a movie night. But we had to start the movie night at 5 because she never lets anyone in her house after 9:30. As soon as I walked into her house, I immediately smelled cinnamon cookies. I was hoping they were for me, well, for us. But JC just brought in a big bowl of popcorn and some drinks, which was fine. I certainly wasn't going to complain and lose her trust for the next 2 decades. Then the movie ended. We thought Halloween 2 was okay. While JC went upstairs to find another movie, I decided to give myself a tour of the house, and here's when things started to go wrong. I was just glad she was willing to watch another movie and that she was letting her friends back into her life. She hadn't really been social since her and Tyler broke up. No one knows what happened between them, just that they were together one day and then the next day they weren't. After the breakup, no one heard from Tyler again. Then we started the second movie, Saw 4. She fell asleep during the movie, and the next time I checked my phone, it was 9:15. I thought, I better get going soon, even though she probably wasn't gonna wake up in the next 15 minutes. I headed over to the kitchen to grab a glass of water before leaving, and then I saw those cinnamon cookies on the counter, and I was like, she's not gonna miss one, right? After finishing the cookie, I turned on the water on the sink to wash my hands, but I was trying to be like really quiet because I didn't want to wake her up. The water didn't wake her up, but my scream did. My friend won't let anyone in her house after 9:30, part 2. If you missed part 1, go back and watch that. So the last thing I told you is JC awoke to my scream. I saw the face of a man outside of the kitchen window. She ran to the kitchen and I told her to call the cops. What did he look like? She asked me, but I didn't know. He was definitely a man. I think he was white. She burst out in laughter and said, "That's enough scary movies for tonight." But I was refusing to leave because I had just seen a man. I knew I saw a man out the window. Then I saw the same man through the living room window, except JC saw it too. She ran to the front door and I thought she was making sure it was locked, but no, she was making sure I didn't look through the peephole. I ran up to her and yelled, "Move! We need to be able to identify this guy for the police." Confusion hit me. Why won't you move? She broke down and started crying. At this point, I could tell that she had basically given up. She was hiding something. She said, "You know that old woman that me and Tyler visited?" Now, let me just preface this. Tyler and JC were about as open-minded as people come. They tried basically every religion, and they were meeting up with this woman because she claimed to have some certain abilities. While she was telling me this, the man was still banging against the door. But as open-minded as they were, she told me that when she met up with the old woman, they couldn't help but laugh at her claiming to be one of the last real witches in the world. I tried to look around Jackie to see what was going on outside, and that's when I saw it. This was the stuff of nightmares. The man was on all fours and had pitch black eyes. And when he opened his mouth, he had cat-like teeth. She got up and ran to the kitchen and grabbed the tray of cinnamon cookies. I'm like, what are you doing? Why are you not freaking out? Then she walked outside and started giving this half man, half creature these cinnamon cookies. And that's when I realized Tyler always did love cookies. I grew up in a haunted house. Ever since then, I've had some pretty crazy experiences. And you guys are always asking for more stories, so I'm gonna tell you guys about the first time I ever saw a ghost. We moved into the house when I was about 7 years old. As soon as we moved in, my cats started acting really weird. They didn't want to go in the back bedrooms. At that time in my life, I had no idea that this experience would literally haunt me for the rest of my life. It was just a normal day. I was cleaning my room. Now, I'm not 100% certain, but I'm pretty sure it was laundry day. As a kid, there was nothing I hated more than laundry day. Laundry day meant that my dad had done all the laundry for the week and us kids had to fold it. I was in my room putting the laundry away, and that's when I saw it. At that time, I had a mirror over my dresser. So I'm looking in the mirror and there's a man behind me. If I had to guess, he was like 22 years old. He had short brown hair and he was wearing a tuxedo. He didn't look scary at all. Actually, I thought he was a real person. Until I turned around and there was nobody there. Then I turned back around and looked back in the mirror and he was gone. Now, as a kid, this was really scary to me, so I told myself that he was my guardian angel and I named him Matthew. to this day, Matthew still hangs around me. He even talks to us in some of my ghost hunting videos. Have you ever seen a ghost?